Welcome, everybody, to another Sunday evening frequency meditation. I hope everyone's had a really great week. And today we're going to do something that is the number one searched topic on YouTube, and that is ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response. For those who have not heard about it, well, join the club. I had never heard about it. And then it came in through a meditation. So I thought, okay, well, let's look into that. It's interesting that it's become one of the most searched experiences on YouTube. Millions of people type it in every month, seeking whispers or tapping, brushing sounds. All of these are sensations that promise tingles and calm. Entire industries now have formed around these microphones being precise just enough to capture the faintest friction of fabric. And the thing is, with all this, it does work, but it only works briefly. These recordings, what they do, they activate the surface layer of the nervous system. And that's kind of like it provides a flash of calm, but that flash fades just as fast, unfortunately. So what people are really chasing is the body's own ability to regulate and harmonize itself. So it was really interesting when I dove into this to see that it's scratching the surface, but like everything, it's all within. So the space-time method, what we do is that we go directly to that origin point. What most call ASMR is only the shadow of a much deeper internal capacity. The real ASMR was never meant to be produced at you. It was designed to be generated through you. So when awareness anchors into the center of your sphere, the nervous system begins to self-tune. Electrical, magnetic, and plasma layers, they all start to harmonize. And what happens after it harmonizes, there's this subtle hum begins. And that's the original resonance of alignment. And I'm sure many of you have heard that hum, or even had the sensation of that hum, especially when you're in silence, when you're centered, when you're in your meditation. So right now, just let's take a breath in right now. Just we're all settled, getting in this one position together. So mainstream ASMR, what it does, it manipulates sensory nerves through, well, really through novelty, which is very different than what the space-time method does, because the space-time method calibrates coherence through spatial referencing. It shifts the experience from external stimuli to your internal architecture. So once the movement flows down through the body, into the earth, then rising through the spine, tingles, warmth, or calm, that appears naturally as the nervous system synchronizes. And these sensations are not the goal. These sensations, which unfortunately most people are seeking the sensations now, that's what they're looking at in YouTube for the experience. But these sensations, they're the side effects of coherence itself right now. And it's okay if you're new to this work, you don't understand some of the terminology. If you go to any of my social media, there are meditations there that will go through some terminology, but don't worry, you'll understand it at a very deep level, and the mind will catch up. So tonight, let's step beyond the entertainment, and let's step really into that true architecture that's available for everyone. So we don't need props, we don't need whispers, only presence. And with that, that allows your own field to produce ASMR from within. the body's quiet hum, the vibration of truth. It's a simpler title, the vibration of truth, than the abbreviated ASMR and the full definition. So if your eyes are closed right now, open your eyes. Look around. Look at the environment around you, everything outside of your body. That environment that you've created, whether you're aware of it or not. So not to judge it, just observe it with neutrality. And then close your eyes and notice the environment within the body, everything that where the skin stops and all your inner workings are. That's another environment. Just notice the distinction between the two environments, the outer and the inner. And then taking a deep breath in. And let's really settle into the space you're in right now. Feel the contact between body and surface, the air temperature, the sounds around you. Just let your awareness become wide and hurried. And from this openness, begin locating the center of your sphere, that precise point inside the head, middle center of your brain, where awareness organizes. This is not imagination. This is spatial coordinate. Your body already knows. And just rest your attention there until you sense a stillness. I'll help you with that. The stillness, it feels almost tangible, as if space itself has texture. And beneath that stillness, a faint hum exists, the pre-frequency of alignment. And from this center, the movement begins, starting in your sphere. Naturally, it descends through the body, through the chest, abdominal, the spine, the pelvis, the legs, into the earth. What happens here, each downward pass, it actually acts like a sweep of coherence, brushing static from the system. The current grounds itself, establishing stability for you. And then from the earth, it rises again, through the feet, the legs, the spine, up through the torso, the neck, returning to the center of your sphere. And with every cycle we do this, the nervous system, it learns precision. That hum will grow steadier, more pronounced, more coherent. So just stay here right now and observe. You can run the movement again, or you can just stay in the center of your sphere, letting it reorganize. We're not doing anything but being centered, present. Taking another breath in. And now expand your awareness outwards till you perceive your frequency field. That's arm's length around you, above you, below you, in front of you, behind you, side to side. It's this subtle layer surrounding the body. It's alive with micro movements. There's small ripples, pulses, fluctuations. This is where the real sensory dialogue begins. The entire field is listening. You're not hearing through ears, but through space itself. This is, as you take a breath in right now and just noticing your spine, this is another sense that comes in for you. We're opening up this. Besides the 5 physical senses, there are so many more senses. So let's start bringing this into your awareness. And if at this point you sense nothing yet, that's perfectly natural. Stillness is not absence, it's a recalibration. So feeling doesn't arrive through concentration or force, it comes through orientation, which is what we do in the space-time method. So instead of searching for sensation, let's shift our attention to noticing distance and dimension. Sense the depth in front of you, the height above you, the space behind you. Feel how wide your awareness can expand without effort. As your spatial referencing becomes accurate, the nervous system begins to awaken. And that may start as a temperature, pressure, a flicker of movement, or simply the recognition of depth. That awareness is the first signal of coherence, so stay there. And the system amplifies itself. The hum doesn't appear because you create it. It appears because you align with what is already underneath, running underneath everything. Nothing is ever being denied to us. We just need to be coherent enough so we can tune into those rule sets. A nice deep breath in right now. And just keep breathing, and this quiet activation unfolds for you right now. Your spine becomes the tuning fork of your frequency. Every vertebrae is a point of resonance for you. And the field starts brushing itself into symmetry. Imagine it like countless gentle strokes occurring through and around you. Each movement of awareness, every moment of awareness, strengthens the structure. Breathing in. So what's happening right now is that the entire system is reorganizing from within. And then from here, awareness moves deeper into the pure blueprint. This is the undistorted architecture beneath perception. It's quieter than sound, yet infinitely more stable. It's a pattern your body follows when it remembers truth. And as you rest awareness here, Coherence no longer feels like something happening to you. It becomes what you are. Every cell hums with precision. The field glows in balance right now. So as we breathe in, let's just stay here right now. Bringing in that pure blueprint alignment. And so we're opening up new senses, opening up awareness of another relationship, that relationship between you and this coherence. So you can start to be aware of this hum. And like everything, every relationship, once you become aware of it, it needs tending, care, commitment. A lot of us on this path are expecting that aha spiritual experience. And we get that. We get those one-offs. But that's very different than a spiritual awakening. A spiritual awakening is where we are shifting into different versions of ourselves, freer, empowered, clearer transmission with our timeless self. And spiritual awakenings, unlike a spiritual experience, which just happens randomly, it's like a near-death experience. That's a spiritual experience, but it doesn't necessarily awaken you. In fact, most people who have near-death experiences have a very difficult time bringing that knowledge into density. So what we do here is we're all about the spiritual awakening, taking back control, having the mechanics on how we create ourselves reveal itself to us, and consciously editing at our blueprint level. And for that to happen, it takes practice. So now this new relationship has come, has revealed itself. So it's by practicing, by sensing, it will get clear for you. So a deep breath in and stay within this, if you like, effortless hum. And just notice. Notice how sound, breath, and space, they all merge into one continuity. So the body no longer needs external triggers to feel alive. It's producing its own sensory orchestra right now. The tingling calm, once associated with whispers, tapping, it's now the natural conversation of coherence flowing through your architecture, and you're receiving now the awareness of this. the nervous system is functioning as it was designed, responsive, intelligent, at ease. ASMR, it was never something to be consumed. It was always your own coherence calling itself home. And let's just bring that in right now, give you a different perception that you were never the audience. You've always been the source. Every inhale circulates the movement downwards and upwards again. Every exhale expands that frequency through your frequency field, carrying resonance into your environment. So you're generating. We're generators. You're not receiving. And as you tune into this more and as you practice, you'll find that that soundless hum is stable, is constant, is alive. So when you open your eyes, that hum continues underneath everything. You take it with you into thought, into movement, into silence. This is ASMR redefined, not surface stimulation, but alignment with the body's original architecture, the nervous system. The nervous system hums in its natural language again, which is coherence. Let these be words in your vocabulary now, used frequently, even if it's internally. Coherence, harmony, alignment. We're getting into the groove of the overall universal system. We have free will, so we've done it our way. But you'll find as time goes on, another good word, synchronicity. Once you get into the synchronicity of the universal system, that's when everything becomes effortless. That's when you get that aha moment that you don't need fixing, improving, healing. It's where you position yourself in space and time. That's where you render whatever version you wish of yourself. Taking a breath in. And now notice what happens when that hum is no longer just a passing sensation, but it becomes the baseline of your awareness. And this is the difference between ordinary ASMR it's like brushing the surface of a violin string, the typical, the mass marketed ASMR, versus allowing the whole body of the instrument to resonate. Surface tingles are temporary. People get attached to those sensations. But resonance through the body's architecture is infinite. It builds a coherence that doesn't fade when the sound ends. Because the architecture itself has remembered its original vibration right now. Another breath in. So the body was never waiting for outside stimulation, not whispers, not tapping, not soundtracks. Those are just reminders. What the body was waiting for was permission to remember its own resonance. When you tune into this hum, you discover that it's always been here, layered beneath the noise of thought, distortions of past experiences. The tingles people chase with external ASMR, they're just a doorway. But the real treasure is when you step beyond the doorway and notice that the walls of your own architecture, well, they're already singing. So sit with it now. The hum's not fragile. It's robust, it's timeless. You can carry it into the movement, into the decisions, into relationships, business, creativity. And what happens is the nervous system no longer runs on fragments or distortions. It runs on its native current, the current of coherence. That's why coherence isn't something you generate. It's something you uncover. That's why what we do here is really subquantum physics. Not for or against any doctrine or dogma. It all has its place. But they all have a lot of personality. So the more you allow yourself to rest here, the clearer it becomes. ASMR is not a performance or a trick. It's a reminder. A reminder that the body's deepest intelligence communicates in vibration, not in words. And when you live from that vibration, the mind follows naturally. Your thoughts will become sharper, clearer, cleaner. Emotions settle into clarity. And your field around you adjusts. And that hum continues everywhere you go, as stability, as coherence. So this is ASMR redefined, not surface stimulation. But again, alignment with the body's original architecture. The nervous system. It hums in its natural language again, which is coherence. So stay here right now, as long as you can. Practice. As mentioned before, it's a new senses are actually opening up. Like learning any new language, it takes time. First, it's all quite abstract. But then as time goes on, all of a sudden it just clicks in place, and then you are aware of this hum. And again, it's not audio. And more will be revealed, because the story doesn't end just being aware of the hum. It's a stepping stone to other technologies that can come in for you to help you have that best possible life here. So with that, I'll see everybody next week.